Hey there! Tired of spending forever seeding nursery trays by hand? Meet the Quick Click Drop Seeder. It makes seeding trays super fast. Just a click and you're done. You can seed multiple trays in no time, making your nursery work way easier. Plus, it works with paper pot trays, microgreens, and any other tray that you have. Say goodbye to tedious seeding and hello to more time on the farm. Join hundreds of other farmers and try the Quick Click Seeder today. Available at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below. I know from looking at a lot of the work that you've done, like you've talked a lot of compaction in the past, and let's focus on that. We'll circle back to organic matter a little bit down the line. For pore space and compaction, how big of a problem is that when it comes to soils? You've seen a lot of ag soils throughout the Midwest. When you look at them, can you talk about a compacted soil and how that maybe performs differently than a soil that's looser and friable?
So it all goes back to that carbon, okay? So when you till a soil, that's really what creates the compaction. I really get upset, or I upset a lot of engineers because they will tell you that soil compaction is due to wheel traffic. But, it'd be interesting to do an experiment, and we could take 100 people and put them across the field and put them a foot apart and have them dig in the soil, and every one of them will find a compacted layer there. Now, are you telling me that tires went evenly across that whole field? No, that is where the tillage tool went, and it's smoothing. What happens is it smooths that soil when it's wet, and that's causing the compaction. It's basically, if you take two clay particles, they have a negative charge. You put a positive atom in between there, it's going to set up like concrete. And that's what's happening in our soil. We're losing the organic matter with the tillage. And what we call soil compaction is really just poor soil structure. That's really what most soil. Now, does that mean that if I have a heavy equipment and I go across the field, yes, I can cause soil compaction, but rain can cause soil compaction, okay? If you plow a field and that soil will start to settle, you'll lose pore space as it rains. And the rain is coming down sometimes 30 miles per hour. It can actually compact your soil. Rain and gravity are also, maybe not as much of an extent. The heavy equipment is major, but really what soil compaction is due to, or poor soil structure, is due to a lack of living roots. It's due to a lack of biology in our soils. Our soils, we've lost anywhere from 50, 60, as much as 80% of our organic matter from our soils. And when you do that, what happens is they shrink. Okay, I do this quite regularly. I mean, anybody can do this. Just go out to a fence row and look at the fence row, and you will see anywhere from a 6 to 9 inch elevation difference where you have undisturbed soils. And the difference between that and, say, your end row. Now, on the end rows, it tends to be a little more compacted, but the difference there is due to the tillage. We've taken all that organic matter, put it up into the atmosphere, and what has happened is our soils have shrunk, okay? And that's that lack of pore space. Now, all we have left is mainly the mineral portion of the soil, and it's cemented together by those negative and positive charges, and it becomes very dense. The way you can break that up, you can do it with tillage, but unfortunately, you're just making it worse. But a root will do the same thing. It'll push the soil down, it pushes out, and it physically lifts that soil, expands it like an accordion. And then when that root decomposes, now you get the pore space. Okay, and that's how you start to expand your soil, is by adding roots, and you start to add that organic matter, and that's what makes good soil, is the organic matter. Then we start, instead of forming micro aggregates, those are the real fine, tiny pieces of soil that's together. Now we're going to start to form what we call macro aggregates. Those are the little pieces of organic matter and roots and clay and silt and sand particles, kind of all glued together with the root exudates and the microbial poop. And that will allow the air and the water and the gas exchange, and that will start to expand our soil. And that's when you see the soil crumble. That's when you know you have good soil structure, okay? And that's what we're trying to do.
When you look at compaction, you have organic matter being depleted, and then you also have the actual tilth of the structure of the soil being changed by, say, tillage. Is there a bigger cause of compaction in there? Is it the tilling, which breaks up that natural supportive pore space and loosens it up so then when rain comes that wants to make it settle? Or is it the fact that you're now oxygenating that soil, bringing the organic matter up, it's volatilizing off, it's burning off, it's being consumed by the microbes in the soil, and then you get both? So is there one side that is more problematic?
I would say it's just a combination of both. It's that whole process. When you oxygenize a soil, the microbes go nuts and they eat up the most important part. What's lacking in most of our conventional soils is the active organic matter. So the active organic matter is your root exudates, your sugars, your polysaccharides in the soil that give us good soil structure. And when you oxygenize it and you turn it over or you really fluff it up like that, what happens is you put a whole bunch of oxygen in there and the microbes go nuts. And then the microbes start to consume all that active carbon. And then pretty soon what will happen is you lose all your structure, micro aggregates and not as many macro aggregates, and pretty soon your soils start to shrink. So it's really kind of and then the other problem that happens is when you take that tillage tool across that, now what you're doing is you're taking all those micro aggregates and you're cementing them together.
Hello, growers. If you enjoy podcasts like this one, tune into my podcast In Search of Soil on YouTube for a deep dive into the mysteries beneath our feet. Join me as I explore topics such as mycorrhizal fungi, mushrooms, compost, biochar, and more. It's a soil nerd's dream. We're going deep. We're talking to scientists about all things soil related. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or a gardener just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Check out In Search of Soil on YouTube.